Welcome to the Hello Sunday podcast with me, Nikki Hayden. This is the podcast that discusses everything self-development, spirituality and sobriety. And it wouldn't be me without a little sprinkling of humour. Whether you are just starting out on your journey of self-development or have been exploring these topics for years, are completely alcohol-free or just curious about living a more sober lifestyle, this is the podcast for you. Each week, I'll be exploring topics in both solo episodes and with some amazing guest experts. So if you like what you hear, then please subscribe, rate and review. So with that said, let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hello Sunday. Hope you're all good. I hope you've had a fantastic week. January is over, guys. January is over. And do you know what? I have had such a busy January. I can't relate to all of the it's a million years long, you know, the start of the year is terrible, hating it, depression. Because my January has been just so much fun, and I've done so many things and celebrated so much and had so many milestones. It's been brilliant. So yeah, I can't relate, I'm afraid, and I'm sure that February will probably be the month now where we have more chill time and more, I guess, just downtime and homely stuff, because yeah, we've had meals, parties, spa weekends, Paris, all for mine and my mum's birthdays. So it's been great. And to be honest with you, I am now craving, well, I say I'm craving now, I was craving some routine and some, I guess, just, yeah, normality, and just feeling a little bit like we're kind of, you know, doing the mundane stuff, which might sound crazy, but I am somebody that I love doing all of the adventure. I love doing all of the trying new things and having fun weekends and seeing people. But I am, somebody once told me the term an ambivert, which basically means an introvert and an extrovert. So I get energy from both being around people, but then I need to re-energize on my own and have that downtime. And I think, being really honest, that's probably why I struggled so much in December, because obviously the dog and yeah, we are 2 minutes in and I've mentioned the dog. So if you're not here for puppy stuff, don't worry, it's not going to be a puppy based episode. I have created him this morning whilst I record this, because I listened back to the audio last week and that dog bone crunching was something else, wasn't it? It was something else. So apologies for that, but it was either that or not release the episode, because he was in a needy mood. But yeah, I've created him this morning so that we can have this record with just us, and so far so good. But yeah, December was full on because I was out of routine. I was feeling like there was just a lot of change, and I didn't have that time to myself really to kind of re-energize, because there was so much happening even just within the home. You know, puppy was very, very full on. He wasn't in the chill zone that he's in now, where he can rest and be quiet. He was very much, this is all new and I don't know what's going on and I want to be around you 24/7, which, as lovely as it was, it can be quite suffocating. So yeah, February is going to be a real kind of home routine. I've got a couple of things booked in. One celebration with a best friend for my 40th, because she wanted to do something just us two for a day. And then I think I'm going to go back home to the Midlands, see my family. My nan has now moved into a care home, which is great news. I know you've all been avidly following her journey since last year and all the ups and downs and yeah, all the stuff that's been going on with me. So that is really good news. She's settling in well. She's made a friend. It's, you know, it's a big life change. And I was thinking the other day, you know, 96 years old, and suddenly you're not living in the home that you've been in for the last 17 or 18 years, right down the road from your family. It's a lot, and we've just expected her to crack on. But she's a tough old boot. She's resilient, and she has just cracked on with it. So yeah, it's really, really good news. So, what did I want to update you on before we go into today's episode? I'm sure that there was something that I was doing last week, and I can't for the life of me think what it was now. I know what it was. It was my curate session. I don't know whether I did mention this. I think I probably did. So Curate is KRIT. It stands for Quantum Regression Integrative Therapy. And Abby, who was the lady that came on the podcast a few months ago now to discuss sort of hypnotherapy and Reiki and all of the wonderful healing therapies that she is qualified in, she conducted the session. We did it online. It was, at first, I wasn't sure if it was going to sort of be okay because the window cleaner turned up just as we were starting, which meant that the dog went off his head. But he was only there for 10 minutes and then he left, and it was great. It was such a good session. And so what is Curate? And I'm probably going to butcher this, so go onto Abby's website to have a look if this interests you, because she can do this from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, because she can do it online. She does do in-person sessions. I've had hypnotherapy with her in person, but this was a Zoom session. And it's basically a healing therapy that just uses your energy. So unlike hypnotherapy, where you have to have a real assessment of the client and really understand their need and ask lots of questions, and it's a very, you don't tend to have a lot of interaction with the therapist throughout. This wasn't like that. It was in a way hypnotherapy, but she asked at the start of the session what I wanted to work on, or what I was feeling challenged by, or where I just felt that I needed to focus and maybe answer a question or find a solution. And we went there in the session, which was amazing. So for me, it was around kind of balance, I guess, and balancing the kind of the need and the want to be really excited about the year ahead and really focus on my goals and really just have that kind of new year energy, but also balancing that with knowing that people in my life at the moment are going through really, really tough times. We've obviously got big question marks over the health of some of my family members. Obviously, the Nan stuff is kind of settling now, which is great, but we've still got everything going on with my sister-in-law. And I had a real sense of like guilt and fear. And it was really, really holding me back from setting goals and getting excited about this year. And I really wanted that to balance. So we focused on that, and absolutely God knows where we went in that session. There was so much crazy stuff coming up. So just to put it into context, when Abby worked with me on my fear of storms and wind, at one point there was like a cartoon beaver in I don't know where that came from. And this time there was like a little dragon, and there was a big fluffy beating heart, and then I saw family members that I'd never met, and yeah, it was a whole thing. So I don't know whether everyone's session is that deep and vibey, I'm not sure, but for me it was a whole thing, and it was really, really liberating. I came away feeling so much lighter and so much more able to deal with my emotions and feel like it was okay to have two things existing at the same time that were, I can feel guilty, and not so much guilty, but I can feel the sadness and the fear and all of the negative emotion that comes with having somebody in your life that you love unconditionally struggling, and also be really excited for some of the stuff that's going on for me personally and me and my little family. And that really helped. So yeah, if you're interested in that, or hypnotherapy or Reiki or anything that Abby offers, then please do drop her a message, because she is so good at what she does. She really is the best, and I'm just so glad that I met her, because I would consider her a friend now as well, but she's just helped me so much. And like the wind phobia, we had a storm here the other week, and I actually messaged her saying this, and one of my friends texted me saying, how are you getting on with the wind? Are you okay? And I was like, didn't even realise that it was that bad. Like I hadn't even noticed that it was storm grade wind. So, but anyway, here we are again, 10 minutes in, me waffling on about my life. So what did I want to talk about today? Well, it kind of ties in with what I was just talking about routine and lifestyle changes and things in December being quite, I guess, just a little bit sticky and a bit hard and feeling like everything has changed. And that is morning routines. So every year in January, in the book club that I'm a member of, we do a book called The Magic. And The Magic is a 28-day gratitude practice that basically puts you into a sense of gratitude for the whole month. And it's called The Magic because magical things happen. People fall pregnant, people get proposed to, people start their dream jobs, they come into money that they didn't expect. All these crazy things happen. And for me, I've always had really amazing results in the months that I've done it. I've not always just done it in January. I think last year I did it in June as well, maybe, with one of my friends and mentors. And it's just a really, really amazing practice. Now, I didn't do it this month because I'm going to start it in February because, well, two reasons. First of all, there was too much going on where I knew I wouldn't be able to commit every single day because it is a real commitment. You have to sit down in the morning and write 10 things that you're grateful for and also why, and really feel into the gratitude. It's no good just saying, I'm grateful for my heart, grateful for my lungs, grateful for my job. You've got to really think, to the point where last year I remember being grateful for windscreen wipers on my car because I was like, if those fuckers broke, I ain't driving anywhere. Door handles. Me and my friend were joking about the fact that he was like, I'm so grateful for door handles. Imagine, you'd be fucked without those. So it's little things like that. The whisk that I use to do my space goods mix in the morning. So I knew this month was going to be tough to commit to. So I'm going to do it in February. But also, I laugh now because I look back last year and my morning routine used to be, I would get up, I would have some water and put my eye drops in. I'd make my coffee, I'd light a candle, sit in the living room, visualise, meditate, write my journal. It was like something that you would see in, the movies and the books of people being like, your morning routine. And at the time, I just thought that was normal. I just thought, like, why doesn't everyone do this? And then I got a dog. Anyone with kids listening to this is going to be laughing and telling me that I don't have a clue. But things changed. And now, because my husband and I share responsibility of doing the dog stuff in the morning, which involves obviously taking him outside to the toilet and feeding him, but also we have to do training. We have to do a training walk. So he can't at the moment just go outside first thing in the morning because he's got a real reactivity to other dogs. So we're having to train him to focus on us and pay attention and all of the things that puppies have to learn because he's never learned this stuff. He's nearly 9 months, but he's never learned it. And so all of that means that I can't get the poor guy up in the morning, take him to the toilet, feed him and crate it. I mean, I could, but it's not fair. That isn't how, we should be committing to treating him. So my whole morning routine just went completely out the window. And it made me feel like I wasn't in control of my day. It made me feel like I was chasing my tail. So naturally, as we've had the dog for a little bit longer and as we have got used to each other and he's got used to me and I'm here on my own 3 days a week with him, so we have an absolute nailed on routine. I've learned that playing with him first thing amps him up too much, so I don't do that. I leave that for lunchtime to tire him out a bit. And we've learned each other's routines, but it definitely means that I am not sitting there visualising and meditating when I first get out of bed. Like, it is not happening. Even if my husband gets him up, and let's be honest, this dog is a cracker at sleeping. Like, he is incredible at just going to bed and sleeping through. We put him to bed, last toilet at 10:30, put him to bed by 11, and he sleeps through till 7, 7:30. Like, he's not waking us up right now. But we still have to get him up. If I got up at 6, 6:30, yes, I could do that. But when we wake up, he's hearing us, he's waking up. And then the minute he wakes up, he needs the toilet. So I've had to adapt and I've had to change things. And I'm not going to lie, at first I wouldn't say resented that because I don't resent him because it was our choice to bring him into our lives and I love him to the ends of the earth. But it was a feeling of loss rather than gain. I didn't see what I was gaining. I just saw that I was losing this amazing routine that I'd got. And then I was listening to something the other day. I can't for the life of me think what it was, but I think it must have been a podcast. And basically they were talking, it might have been Canny Crystals, it might have been Mark from Canny Crystals, because I think he was talking about small steps and how you can take, the compound effect. If you just take small steps and, like the brick life that I was talking about in a previous episode, just put in a brick every day and eventually you'll build a wall and then a house and then a whole estate, or block, or whatever our American friends would call it. And he said something about a morning routine, and he was talking about how since he's had a baby, he can't do all of those things either. So it's about picking and choosing what's going to work for you and your life. And I just suddenly thought, yeah, do you know what? That is so true. Like, there is no benefit to me sitting here and being resentful or feeling negatively about the fact that I can't do something now. I might as well change my perspective and reframe it into what I can do and what I'm gaining and all of the positives, and flip some of that stuff around and do it later. Like, I can still visualize my day. I'm here recording a 30-minute podcast episode, so that puppy is fine to be on his own and chill, but it just has to be at the right time. And when he's just got out of bed in the morning, it ain't happening. For those of you that are regular listeners to the show, or maybe you know me personally, you won't have been able to get away without hearing me talk about Simprove. Simprove is a scientifically backed, water-based probiotic drink. You drink it daily and it has been scientifically proven to help with things like bloating, IBS symptoms, pain. It was actually a dietitian friend of mine that introduced it to me last year, and I honestly wouldn't be without it now. It's helped with my energy, with my bloating, it's helped with my immune system, and also things like my skin. The list is honestly endless. Now, I have got a code for you. So if you'd like to try Simprove, you can get 50%, that's a massive 50% off your first 3-month subscription by going on to simprove.com and putting in the code Nikki50. That's NIKKI50, or clicking the link in the show notes. So I've thought about this all week, and my morning routine now is a mixture of the things that I used to do, some new stuff, and then I've pushed some of the other stuff later in the day. Some of it I haven't been doing at all. But in essence, what I have realised I need is I just need some self-care in the morning, some movement, and something that helps me set my mindset for the day. And that then shows me the self-respect that I need to give myself to show up every day. It shows the universe that I am still really committed to my goals and to myself. And it gives me that stability and routine that I need as an individual. Like, maybe some people can get up and fly by the seat of their pants and wing it every morning, but that isn't me. My day just goes out the window if I do that. So my routine now is, and I actually write this in the notes on my phone, because I find that if I tick things off, it helps. Because first thing in the morning, you can get an email, get a text, someone can voice note you, you can drop your coffee, and then it all goes to pot. So if I've got it in my notes, I literally just tick it off every day and then untick it at the end of the day, and etc. And sometimes I'll flex it up if I'm like going to the gym, if my husband's here to look after Marley. So my routine now is I wake up, I have a big drink of water, which is next to my bed already. Some of you listening are probably like, that's gross, you need it to be fresh, but I'm not getting up to do fresh ice water first thing, it's just there. So I have a big drink of water, put in my eye drops, and then once I've done that, I will either get up and, then I'll have my Simprove. So I'll do my water, eye drops, Simprove, because I have to have Simprove 10 minutes before I eat or drink. Then either myself or my husband will make me a coffee, and I'll take that back to bed. Then if I'm getting up with the pup, I will wake him up, take him out to the toilet. If it's my husband's turn, he will take him to the toilet and bring him up to our bed, and then we'll just chill together on the bed for a bit. I say chill together as much as you can with a 8.5-month-old puppy that's got the energy of all the toddlers in the world first thing in the morning, but we do try and chill. And then normally I'll either then go to the gym, or because he still can't be left, and he escaped his crate this week. He did a whole Houdini act when I popped to the shop, so back to square one with that. But I'll either go to the gym if my husband's here, or I then take the dog out for his training walk around the garden. We'll do about 20 minutes, do different commands, get him to pay attention. That tires him out. Bring him back in, give him his medication and his breakfast, and then I will crate him whilst I do my breakfast, have a shower, and just get my head together. And at that point, I'll probably look at my diary for the day, voice note a friend, do the stuff that I know that I just need to do before he comes out and potentially is kind of milling around. The things that I don't do at the moment, first thing in the morning, are visualization, meditation, journaling, because I can't fit them into my routine right now unless I get up earlier, which actually in the spring, it might be a thing. I might be able to get up a little bit earlier. But in the winter, not going to lie, it's not happening. But what I have started doing is visualizing how I want my next day to go before I go to sleep. So I'll do the visualization for the next day before I go to bed. And sometimes I'll write that in the notes on my phone, read over it in the morning. So it's kind of a visualization without the need to sit and be silent and not have anything going on. And also the other thing I've been doing is planning my day the night before. So I'll write out a list of all the stuff I need to do in my morning routine the next day, the night before. I'll look at my work diary. I'll basically plan out what does tomorrow need to look like. When can I get movement in? Is it just going to be walks with the dog? Can I get to the gym? We're making a little home gym now as well. Where am I going to get that into my morning? Where am I going to get a little bit of self-care in the form of just sitting with a coffee for 5 minutes? So making sure that I've got those little things into my morning. And I've realised that is enough for me right now. And maybe there will be a day in the future where he is more chill in the morning and he's not as interested in us, and I can do those things, or we can leave him and I can go to the gym more regularly. But I think sometimes there's so much pressure out there, especially in the start of the year, in this, these months, to nail your morning routine and do affirmations and gratitude. Oh, the other thing that I do play sometimes as well in the background is subliminals. You can get them on YouTube, but if you go onto Francesca Amber's website, she does have some really good ones that you can buy for like pennies, and then you know what you're getting, because sometimes on YouTube I do think like, are they trying to brainwash me to, join ISIS or something? So yeah, it's you've got to make it work for you. And if you've got kids, maybe it's similar. Maybe you can't do everything. Maybe you can share some stuff with your partner. Maybe you can get your visualization or meditation in when they're doing a nap, or when they've gone to nursery or school. But it's so difficult sometimes, especially when you see on things like social media, to look at all these influencers who are paid to do this stuff, right? They are literally paid to promote self-care. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at all this, because it isn't the average person, the average Joe, that is posting about this stuff normally. And there are some really great kind of normal influencers or normal people out there doing some stuff. Like Fran is a really good example. She's got 3 young children, 2 of which are 4-year-old twins, and she ain't sat meditating for 40 minutes in the morning. No. So if you are struggling with a morning routine and you've just not done anything because you just think, well, morning routines are for, single, childless people with no commitments, it doesn't have to be like that. You can do something, and it just gives you that sort of routine. It gives you that structure to your day. It gives you clarity, and it means that you show up for yourself. And I'm going to pin in the show notes, I'm going to link the 2 episodes where I talked about brick life, but also where I talked about self-respect and showing up for yourself, because this is a major element of that. Just doing something every day for you, even if it is just literally 5 minutes. My water, my eye drops, my Simprove are all self-care, and they take, I could do them all in 3 minutes together. The walk with the dog, that is also, you know, movement. Creating him whilst I shower and do my coffee and just think about my day, that is a form of self-care. It might not look like, you know, I'm a monk sat there in silence for 3 hours meditating, but it's what I can manage right now in the circumstances and with my lifestyle. So I just thought that was a really important topic to talk about, because there is so much out there. You know, you are absolutely drowning in January in goal setting and morning routines and what you should be doing, and you should be going to the gym and visualizing and journaling and gratitude practice. And yes, I am going to do the magic next month. Will I be doing 10 gratitudes every single morning? Probably not. Will I have to do them sometimes mid-morning or afternoon? But will I get them done? Yes, because it's about making it work for you. So I hope that you've taken some value from that. As always, please, please, please give the episode some love, share it, give a 5-star rating, guys. I haven't had a rating for absolutely ages now, and I know some of you have done this, but we've got like 8,000 downloads or something now, and I've got like 22 or 23 reviews and ratings. So please, 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 if you haven't, take 2 minutes to do that. It would mean the absolute world to me. And have a fantastic week, and I will see you all again next Sunday. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at HelloSundayPod, or you can email us on hellosundaypod@outlook.com. Have a great week.